Welcome back to GBGuns and GBGunsDepot.com. We're out for casual Sunday. We've had some heavy rain, so it's nice and cool, and just thought we'd bring out a couple pieces that we've enjoyed and haven't had a good excuse to shoot in a while, and just have fun with it. What you just saw there was our famous 6-inch spinner that we normally do from 12 yards, but I'm doing it from 20 yards because this is the SPS Pantera, which is just an incredible freaking gun. One of 3 guns we'll be going over today. Just having fun with them, shooting them, enjoying them, and remembering why we've held on to these things.
So Graham often talks to me about his treasures in the armory, and many of them I have not shot yet, and this happens to be one of them. I've shot it now, and I understand now why he speaks so highly of this gun. It's very heavy in the hand, the trigger is there, the fiber optic front sight makes, you know, target acquisition easy, and I mean, come on now, that is a sexy pistol. So
the S.P.S. Pantera, folks, for those who don't know, is a limited production gun, as in they don't make a whole lot of them each year because it's the master gunsmiths over at Metro Arms that work on the SPS line. These are all hand fitted, beautifully done. It's a 2011 style double stack 21+1 9mm with a 5-inch barrel and a full length dust cover. Just a handsome gun. So one of the things with the Pantera, aside from the craftsmanship, I don't know if the microphone's going to pick this up or not, but
that's pretty beautiful.
It's just so buttery smooth. It's obviously meant to be a competition gun, and with that full-length dust cover, you end up with a lot of front-end weight that balances well when you've got a fat 21-round mag behind it. So it ends up for a very flat gun that's got all of the 1911 ergonomics to it, the breadth coming from the double stack mag, and a very crisp trigger that makes for doubles to be really quick and easy. Now we have our reduced size target of steel, about 10 yards. Hopefully I can do this and not make a fool out of myself. Years ago, when I was a better pistol shooter, I did some awesome nailing. I'm getting a look. Is that not 10 yards?
That's a little further than 10.
Maybe 15?
Yeah.
Okay, 15 yards. But this was the pistol I used to demonstrate how to do a hammer, which is aiming once, squeezing twice, and landing 2 good hits. See if I can do it now. That's a single to get back into this gun. 2 quick shots, 2 quick hits. I'm hoping that the camera is able to capture how flat this gun is. But it is just really comfortable and controllable. Until you run out of ammo.
I was just getting into a good video angle too.
But that's what for me made this thing just awesome. And even though I'm not a competitive shooter, I don't have a use for a 2011, if you will, it's nice to be able to do that and know that you're capable of it, and it sort of inspires you to pursue it with other guns. It's also having a gun like this that lets you know what the potential is out there before, or when you try something else and you think maybe it's my skill, maybe it's the gun. Something like this helps reduce the gun variable. It's just spectacular.
Another common mention that Graham makes is the 92 Elite LTT, and I can tell you, just putting this in my hand, I knew why. Instantly, I knew why. And then having the opportunity to shoot today, it's without question one of the quickest running guns that I've had the pleasure of shooting, but it's still so smooth. I had the opportunity to shoot this a couple of years ago and declined. I was a little starstruck with the presence of Ernest and Amy when they came to visit, and just kind of stayed in the shadows. I wasn't as comfortable with my shooting abilities at that time and thought that was a wise choice.
A little backstory on this model. The 92 Elite LTT is basically everything Beretta should have done with the 92. The genius of Ernest Langdon and Langdon Tactical assemble these things with a mix of slide, frame, and capabilities that were introduced individually in different Brita 92 models, but never combined all together. Then you throw in a nice trigger, and this is definitely not an M9. In fact, when I first had first chance to shoot this, I declined because 15 years of the Army had taught me to not like the Brita M9. This is a totally different gun, amazing shooter. With the 92 Elite LTT, it's the fact that when first offered the chance, I didn't want to shoot it that makes me love it so much. As I mentioned in Teya's intro, 15 years of the Army taught me to not like the M9, and I thought it was the platform. I didn't realize it was, well, for one, Army maintenance, but also just that not everything had been realized, and this makes the ultimate of it. The double action on this, you notice I decocked this, has the auto return, so that even if you're racking it and you mess up, you're not killing the gun and putting it on safe like you did on the M9. Double action is so smooth, as hopefully you'll be able to see on the camera here. As I pull right through, it's just crisp. And the reset is nice. There. And you've got a little more tick up to the same break. And it means that you can practically double just as easily with this as you can with a straight single action. But of course you've got the double action to serve as your safety, making it a very viable fighting or carry gun that still has the safety features of the double action. Double action pull is still long, as you saw. In fact, I'll do it left-handed so you get a better, clearer view. Same length of pull as you would expect for a double action. There's my reset. The wall again, and break. And let's see if I can double with this. Double to single. Try that again, if I have enough ammo. Not bad. I did miss that time, it's a little embarrassing. Got one round left. It's just everything the 92 should have been and could have been and can be, all in one very smooth pistol. Amazing. And this is a real one. There are some that Brita sells direct. Those are manufactured. They include all the same parts generally, but they're not put together by the Langdons, which means they don't quite have those finer, smoother bits of gunsmithing that one of these real Langdon LTTs does.
The third gun that we're out here with today is the Regent BR9, and I think that Graham may have picked this one knowing how much I love a classic looking gun, whether it be a rifle or a handgun, and this is no exception. It's absolutely beautiful. It shoots really, really well, but still has that old gun feel in your hand. I've really enjoyed shooting this.
Yeah, these are clones of the Browning High Power. This one was made by Tisas, originally imported by LKCI. We did a review on it way back then. Then Brownells had some, and now EAA is looking to bring in Gearson's clone of the Browning High Power. It's got all the charm, handsome, classic looks and flaws of Browning's last design. In fact, if memory serves me, Browning died before this gun went into production, and FN kind of finished things off. But it certainly has that early 20th century coolness to it.
I hope when they bring them back, they maintain some handsomeness that this one has. Adored.
With the Tisas Regent BR9, or any high power clone, if you will, you're getting the cool piece of history. These were, as I understand it, the first real high capacity double stack 9s. That's why they're called high power. Originally 13 rounds. This is a 13 round mag. I think there's also 15 rounders now. But it really was the breaking into that part of firearms that we now consider pretty much the standard. I don't know if it was Browning or if it was FN, but somebody decided to make that little gap right there, which is where my hand likes to go. And then it gets bit shot after shot after shot. It's true to the design. I don't blame Tisas for that. It's part of the history. But as I pick it up here and maybe got it on safe, angle down here, you can see my skin roll right in there. And when you hold it, because there's so much mass above the grip spot, since the tang is down here, you want to choke higher, like a more modern grip. And as I do that, you see more and more hand gets in there. So this gun gets fed two ways. It's fed ammunition from the magazine, and it's fed flesh from the back side of the gun. But I suspect that's in part because I have large hands, and turn of the 20th century hands maybe not as meaty. I don't know.
It wasn't something I had to consider. Just saying.
Teya doesn't have this problem with it, but it does make it a little tough. Safety is way back in the rear, as you saw when I was up close there, but activates nicely. This particular gun, ow, it bit me, is Cerakoted, but a very nice rich black that looks like a nice bluing on it. And part of why I love this thing is I can shoot the snot out of this because it's a Turkish clone. It's not necessarily going to gain any value, and it's not really going to depreciate much beside the fact that it's a used gun. Whereas if I had an actual high power, I might not want to take it to the range very often. So this lets you enjoy history. It's sort of like those kit car muscle cars, you know, and then you get to enjoy some history. You get to have the cool looks and feel and enjoy it without depreciating all the fun of a Browning high power. Using that Igman ammo, some kind of military-ish. It's got the sealed primer type stuff. Not exactly match ammo, but it's casual Sunday. Teya decided to do some accuracy testing. So we're each going to group each one of these. We are a little farther than normal, around 8 yards or so. But just to see, the difference between these are different sight styles, different trigger styles, different grips. Same shooter, same ammo. This should be a good demonstration of how well these guns work with each of us. Teya, you going top right?
Top left.
Top left. That was just 3.
Oh, that's right. I said 5.
That's a pretty tight group.
Especially for having a break in the middle.
Yeah. What, any thoughts on that?
If I was giving like a normal review impression, I would say that it's got a little bit of flip that I kind of wasn't expecting during the last 2 rounds. Kind of caught me off guard. Trigger feel is great. I do feel more recoil in the wrist, but I mean, this gun is just beautiful and it shoots really pleasantly.
All right, I'll give it a try now. All right, Regent BR9, and I'm just gonna let it bite my hand because I need a high grip on this. Not doing so hot.
Nice way to put it.
I guess in the end it turned out okay. Let me get my hand out of this gun.
Ow.
As it eats the back of it. Not my best shooting. If I were to try to blame the gun, I might say maybe that fighting through the pain of getting bit with each shot. Got a nice dent this time. Is what's throwing my shots off? Maybe it's just not a great thing. 3 out of 5 are pretty good. I don't know, but it is a slick front strap, which definitely you feel the gun shift in your hand, and this is probably the highest recoiling of the 3 that we brought with us.
Does that have anything to do with the fact that behind the grips is hollow?
I don't know. It's slick.
Okay.
The gun's definitely shifting a lot. All right, let's move on to something a little more pleasant, a little more modern. Now for the 92 Elite LTT. And of course, to be true, and Tia's going to hate me for this, we are going to do the first shot double action.
I think I'll be okay with this one.
It's a pretty damn smooth double action. Best double action I've ever felt. I'm also realizing that our target might be in line with the steel, so you might hear some ding back there. Find out. Remember, one of our firearm safety rules is to know your target, what's in front of it, and what's beyond.
It's 2 for 1.
Dead center on my double action. I threw that one. I don't know, if there's one thing that I could change on this, it would be that little bit of extra take up on the single action. And I know that Langdon Tactical has upgraded triggers and they have other packages. They've changed the trigger bar, things like that since this gun. This is a very early gun. So might be worth looking into that. Very controllable, certainly a whole lot better than any shooting I would have done with an M9. And for a Beretta, pretty good. It's comfy to shoot. That double action, I like it. It's smooth. Yeah, it's a little bit longer, but my first shot was dead freaking centered, and that was done off the double action.
Let me try.
Huh?
Let me try.
Of course. Now Ms. Teya on the 92 Elite LTT.
Double action.
Double action first shot.
Hoping to not let this trigger get ahead of me.
Dead center. That's pretty darn good.
That was pretty awesome. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, this, I would love to have a lot more trigger time with one of these and get really proficient with the double action. And maybe this should be a front sight choice for our next trip.
Ooh.
I think I could enjoy that.
Now for the S.P.S. Pantera. A super short, light, crisp single action.
Got away from me. This thing is just too much fun, too easy to shoot. Holy bejesus.
That's some pretty spectacular shooting.
Accuracy thrills me because I've struggled a long time with being confident and accurate and, you know, safe and all the things that come with that. So I'm really grateful that Graham brought this out today and I finally got to experience the joys of the S.P.S.
It's kind of what I was talking about earlier about it's just one of those guns that shows you what you're capable of.
Yeah, and it's a huge boost in confidence. Yeah, thank you.
Alright, pressure is on. Shooting second sucks.
Tell me about it.
Come on, Pantera.
Dang. Little sweet redemption.
Redemption / save myself. No, it's a... You guys, I hope by now you've recognized that Teya is a shooter and a good shooter. So many people freak out. Like, oh my gosh, she shot better than you. Well, yeah, like I'm not the best shooter out there. I'm decent, but I'm not the best. And Teya's pretty darn good too. Yeah, the SPS Pantera, hate to sound like a broken record, but it's just one of those guns that lets you know what you're fully capable of. so smooth to shoot, a trigger that, at least for me, is very easy to predict, which means I know when to let it go and when to hold. It's kind of like shooting a really nice bolt action gun, as far as you get on that spot and just let it go, and the recoil impulse is smooth. This full length dust cover, keeping that weight there, brings it right back onto target. You might get a little bounce. I know there's some school of thought that when you have too much front weight that you kind of wobble as it returns to shot. Not for me, and I think part of that is the breadth of this being a nice fat double stack.
It's just so well balanced. There's not anything that is unpleasant in shooting that gun.
Yeah, and when you stuff this with 21 rounds, which is, let's see, over 2,000 grain of bullet weight, you've got an anchor in your hand, and then the weight up front, and the gun is just flat. Spectacular gun. I hope you guys enjoyed this format. It was just kind of a chance for us to bring out some stuff we haven't touched in a while. We've got many more guns we can do something like this with. If you're interested in it, please let us know in the comments below. If there's something you want to see brought out again, throw it down there.
Scroll back through that video history and find those previously reviewed guns.
We've only reviewed a couple hundred pistols, so the options are there. Also 100 or so rifles, so there's options there too. Anyways, we just thought we'd change things up and have a nice casual Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.